Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your main man, Six Paps Junga, back again with another reaction video. Okay, so it's actually been quite a while before I did a reaction video, so I say, you know what, this is a video that a lot of people wanted me to watch, or, you know, not wanted me to watch, but wanted me to check out. More like just hear my opinions on what I think, and it was me who said, you know what, I might as well just make it into a video. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So apparently the Boruto manga is ending soon. You know, I'm not even gonna hear it. I don't want to hear what he's trying to say. No, but you know what? We're gonna hear. We're gonna hear what he has to say. But already I'm pretty skeptical, because when you come with a title like this, that the Boruto anime or manga is ending soon, when we have so much to discuss or go over in the manga, it just seems unbelievable. But he says according to the artist, which is Ikemoto, so we gotta see what he's talking about. Now, if Ikemoto's in the conversation, then that's a different discussion. But I haven't heard of Ikemoto coming out and saying it, so I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. Of course, before we react to any video, you gotta show some love. So Forever World Unleashed, make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel. If you guys mess with his content, I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description, so check him out if you want to. Also, drop a like on this video if you guys like seeing videos like this. You know what I'm saying? I react to videos here and there. I don't do it a lot like I used to, but I like to throw on the camera here and there just so you guys can see my face, I guess. I don't know. And I could talk to you guys face to face, whatever. But without further ado, let's hop into it.
So the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga could be ending very soon. And I know some people don't want to hear that, especially if you're a fan of the franchise, but based on word from the artist of Boruto, Mikio Ikemoto, well, it's definitely a high possibility. Now, the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga has been going on for a few years now, and the Boruto series as a whole has been going on for quite some time now. I want to say it was like maybe a decade ago or so or more that essentially the Boruto manga began, not including, of course, the fact that we had Boruto Naruto the movie, which essentially was the catalyst to the Boruto story as a whole. And then of course it was the following year that the Boruto manga was serialized that we got the Boruto Naruto Next Generations anime. So it would be misleading to act as if Boruto is completely and 100% just straight up brand new. While yeah, 2 Blue Vortex kind of just started again a few years back, and it feels so refreshing, and it felt like a
And you know what's crazy? I don't know ball, I'm sorry, and a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this. I do remember seeing this guy. I used to watch his videos a lot back in the day, you know, and I have not seen him in a while. Now, just from the name, I did not even know who this was, but now I see, yes, this is definitely an OG talking. So his word probably has a little bit more merit than I initially thought. Don't get mad at me though, don't get mad at me. I forgot who he is, but I know who he is. I promise you I know who he is. And I could say he's definitely an OG in the community. So, hey, my fault. Let's keep going.
While Boruto 2 Blue Vortex as it stands right now is pretty much so doing pretty well for the most part. Sales are pretty much stabilized, and as of recent, we actually got a major update that Boruto sales are a lot higher than we initially had thought. Because with the whole changing of the anime and manga industry, in particular with the manga side of things, there was never really a major push to basically say of like, hey, this is what's going on the digital side of things, not only on the physical side of things. Because on the physical side of things, it's been pretty clear that Boruto is doing okay, it's doing decent, but very recent we got word that Boruto's digital sales are pretty much matching what the physical sales do. So if the latest volume of Boruto, for example, did about like 50-something thousand first week, on the digital side of things, it's roughly done the same, if not more, based on estimations that were released from Billboard. So I say all that to say that essentially, as far as sales go, I think that that would be a massive mistake of an even mindset to think that that's why Boruto would end at this particular.
Bro, trust me, when a series is doing numbers, like crazy numbers, they're always gonna find a way to keep it going. Because you always have the artist, but then there's always the higher ups. And the higher ups are always gonna want you to keep pushing out content. Keep pushing out content, no matter if the creator wants to end the manga or not. You have so many manga who the artists, they wanted to end it, but the sales were popping, so they had to keep going, or they could just make a sequel. It happened with JJK. Gege wanted to end JJK a while ago, but JJK was one of the most popular manga at the time, so they wanted him to keep pushing out chapters. And now look, we got a sequel to JJK Modulo. So it all really depends on how popular it is. Right now, Boruto, I would say, I don't even know if Boruto has peaked yet. That's the thing. I don't know if Boruto has peaked. It probably hasn't. And here's the thing. I don't think Boruto is truly going to peak until it's at its end. I don't think a lot of people understand what they did by putting the ending of Boruto in the beginning of the anime. By them doing that, just setting the expectations, setting the bar, they attached people just off that scene alone. With Boruto and Kawaki fighting on top of the Hokage monument, I know I was attached. Hey, that got me. That got me wanting to check out the series. A lot of people have picked up the series just from that scene. And now when the story finally gets to that point, Boruto is going to reach numbers that nobody even thought it could reach. Now, obviously, if you would ask me about the numbers and all that, I'm going to just say I don't really care about the numbers per se, because it's not really my thing to care about numbers like that. I'm looking at how much do I enjoy something, how much can it benefit me if I talk about it on my channel or whatever, do my supporters like it, all that stuff. But even I could see that Boruto is definitely going to be doing some crazy numbers, and it hasn't even peaked yet. Just off that fact alone, the Boruto manga is not going to end soon, and they would be dumb to end it so soon. I'm not even going to get into how much content we have to go over yet. I'm going to just keep letting the video go. But as far as I can say for right now, I don't think that's a possibility.
Because while Boruto doesn't match, of course, its predecessor Naruto or anything like that, ultimately, on its own, within its own merits, Boruto is still very successful, regardless of if you want to hate it or not. The facts are the facts, and based on the sales and whatnot, it is doing very well. Not to mention the fact that we kind of already got somewhat of confirmation that the Boruto anime is coming back. Of course, when Boruto Naruto Next Generations went off air a few years back, ultimately, it was pretty much hinted at and said that, yeah, it's going to come back at some given point. It was just a matter of when. Obviously, at that particular point, the Boruto anime had kind of reached where the manga was, so there was like only a handful of chapters, if not less, at that time for them to adapt, and opposed to doing something that most of the fans agreed was a terrible decision of doing.
And I mean, I'm gonna just say this right now. We're saying the Boruto manga is gonna end soon or whatever. How long did Naruto last? I think Naruto started in like 1999, 1998 or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was 1999 and it ran until 2017. So that's roughly 17 years that Naruto was in play. And that's just the anime alone. Now, when we're talking about the manga, I think the manga ended somewhere around like 2015 or so. That's around 15 years. So that's even shorter than that. Boruto has been running for a decade. That's already 10 years. So it wouldn't be crazy to say Boruto could surpass Naruto's runtime. Because even then, Boruto is a monthly manga. Naruto is weekly. And obviously that doesn't mean it'll have more chapters. Like I said, Boruto is monthly. But I guess it's all about the runtime, right? And no matter what anybody says, I think Boruto is better being monthly. Now, obviously, you're going to have people that just want to read the next chapter so bad, they can't wait. That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be excited for next chapter. They're building the hype up to that. That's how a series like Boruto keeps its hype. Especially if every chapter that comes out is just good, right? When you have a manga coming out every week, it's not going to keep its hype all the way through. And obviously that's good for, content creators like us, but it can also be good for sales. And if you look at it on a business standpoint, then it makes sense.
So with Mikio Ikemoto's original comments that we're going to get to in a second, it's not far-fetched to think that they wouldn't be like, yo, we can end the manga right now or here very soon. Not right now, because there's still some plot threads that need to get tied. But yeah, the manga can end at any given point and it will be fine as far as affecting the anime side of things. And I guess before we continue, let me tell you exactly what was said. Because a while back there was an interview where the artist of Boruto, Mikio Ikemoto, said that essentially he planned for Boruto to be finished within 30 volumes due to the fact that he hopes to complete the story within 30 volumes to keep the entire saga of Boruto and Naruto within 100 volumes altogether. And so with Naruto ending with 72 volumes, there's a little bit of a miscalculation there, because if Naruto was 70 volumes, then 30 volumes would have made it 100. But there's 72 volumes of Naruto, and as it stands right now, as of the recording of this video, there's 20 volumes of OG Boruto and 7 volumes of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex with rough.
Nah, if you're 7 volumes of 2 Blue Vortex. Okay, I see what he's trying to say. I mean, by Ikemoto's words, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to end everything within 100 volumes. So I feel like I don't even have to do anything here. Let's just do the math together, right? So obviously there are 4 chapters in a volume of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. So that means the 7th volume goes up to chapter 28. We are in chapter 31 right now. So when chapter 32 comes out, that will mark the 8th volume. So then he would have to say, Boruto is going to end in, let's say, 8 chapters at the most, right? And that's crazy to say. 8 chapters from when volume 8 drops. 2 Blue Vortex is gonna end. Now, we have to realize when manga artist says things like that, Most of the time, it's just them planning things out in their head. Most of the time, it doesn't go that way. It doesn't go how they plan for it to go. Most of the times, they're in a spot where things are kind of confusing. Where it's like, okay, I can't end it in 8 chapters or so. I want to end it in 8 chapters, but where we're at right now, I can't end it so soon. Otherwise, it'll feel rushed and it'll ruin the entire story. Right now, if they was to end Boruto in around, heck, not even 8 chapters. If they was to end it somewhere around 12 chapters, it would still feel rushed because that's how much stuff we haven't covered yet. We're still in the Mamushi arc right now. Chapter 31, we're still dealing with Mamushi. We haven't dealt with Hidari yet. We haven't dealt with Jura yet. I mean, nobody even has an answer for Jura yet. Boruto and Kawaki are nowhere strong enough to deal with them. And they're considered to be the 2 strongest characters in the story, excluding Damon or Shibai, whatever. They don't have an answer for Jura. Nobody does. I think people are underestimating exactly how many plot points we have left in the story. We have Jura. I mean, there's still that thing with Code becoming an Otsutsuki. Even if he doesn't, you have to do something with that character. You can't just have him roaming around here and there. He obviously has a purpose in the story now, and that's to kill Kashikoji and Boruto. We still don't know what's going on with him, and then we also have a lot of other mysteries. Is Naruto gonna come back? Is Sasuke gonna come back? They have to defeat Hidari for that to happen, like I said. And then Boruto has that feud with Momoshiki, and then the ending of Tuba Vortex we gotta see, especially Boruto versus Kawaki, you know, all that stuff. There's a lot more like plot points that I didn't mention, like the 2 missing Otsutsuki on the mural. You're telling me all that's gonna be covered in 12 chapters when we haven't even found a way, not even sniffed a way to deal with Jura yet. That's I don't know. I don't know about that one. There's the whole thing with omnipotence, if they want to revisit that, because that can be very important to the story. So I'm just saying, like, you consider all that stuff, it's very important, very, very important that they cover at least more than half of that in the series, or else a lot of people are going to be left unhappy. So I personally understand what Ikemoto was trying to do. He wanted to give Boruto a timetable, wishful thinking. Yeah, I want Boruto and Naruto to end within 100 volumes. I want it all to add up within 100 volumes. Wishful thinking, but right now, you're either left with 2 options. You can do that but leave the story short, which is going to disappoint a lot of people and kind of fumble one of the greatest series I ever seen, you know what I mean? I don't know about anybody else, but I can only speak for me. I love Boruto. Obviously, you can tell that. I have a whole channel dedicated to it. So obviously, I want to see it pulled to its fullest potential. And that won't be the case in 4 to 8 chapters. It won't be. It won't be. So yeah, they have a lot of stuff to go over, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna mention sometime in this video that yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we have to go over. I'm pretty sure he already mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but yeah, I don't think this is, well, obviously the quote by Ikemoto can be true, but like I said, it's not gonna happen.
So you take that all into account, there's essentially 27 volumes of Boruto, and the 28th one is near completion because each volume of Boruto roughly has about 4 to 5 chapters of content, essentially because it's a monthly, obviously weekly manga. They have like 7 or 8 chapters. So as it stands right now, Boruto's manga is getting very close to reaching that 100 volume mark.
I could say something right now though. For the 100 volume, I do expect him to, you know, do something crazy. I do expect something big to happen. Because obviously, it's not going to end. Boruto is not going to end in its 100 volume, but something big can happen. So, I mean, an idea is like, okay, you have Kawaki, who at the end of the story said he wanted to end the era of Shinobi. Perhaps during the 100 volume, let's say he can have some type of character development that could push the ideal forward. So something that happens to Kawaki or something that somebody says to Kawaki could have him start thinking like that. Because as of right now, Kawaki has not at all said nothing about ending the era of Shinobi. So I'm like, we're not even close to that yet. We're not even close to Kawaki thinking about doing something like that. So it's like, I can't even say we're halfway done. You know what I mean? I can't say we're even halfway done. We can be nearing halfway, but I don't know. At the very least, I could see Tuba Vortex being 60 chapters. But if Ikemoto wanted to, he could push it past 80 chapters. It could be longer than part 1. The ball is in his court, honestly. And by making the story longer, there's a lot of ways you could do that. There's a lot of ways you could do that, trust me. Even if you're bored of Jura, I mean, obviously people are gonna get bored of Jura at some point. But then you can make Code the main villain. You can give him a crazy buff make him the main villain, he has much more of an emotional attachment to the main cast like Boruto or Kawaki because he's been around the story for a long time. So if Code wasn't a complete loser, could he be a more compelling villain than Jura? Maybe. I would not hold that against him. So my whole thing is like, if Ikemoto wanted to, he could extend the series past 100 chapters easily if he wanted to. Introduce new plots and narratives, explore Boruto's Jogon, his relationship to the Otsutsuki. That could be a whole arc where Boruto learns about his lineage and how he's related to the Otsutsuki. You know what I mean? That right there. Boom, 15 chapters. You could do that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of things that Ikemoto can do, it's right there in front of him. If he wants to end the series, I feel like he'll be fumbling. In my personal opinion. Wow, I have more to say about this than I thought. Not gonna lie, but hey, that's why you guys clicked on the video, right? You wanna hear my thoughts. So, here they are.
But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, putting Mikio Ikemoto's estimations aside, essentially that there's 70 volumes, give or take, even though there's 72, of Naruto, and he planned for 30 to make 100. So according to that, there would basically be about 3 volumes left of content for the Boruto manga to essentially wrap itself up and finish off the story. And one of those 3 volumes already has about 3 chapters that are basically completed and already been serialized in monthly V-Jump magazine. So realistically, there's about 2 volumes and give or take a chapter or 2 that are left to be made, to be released in order to meet that 30 volume quota of Boruto's story. And when you look at it from that perspective, while yeah, ultimately that's what Mikio Ikemoto said, we've had creators such as the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, say several different times throughout the journey that like, yo, we're 50% through, we're 80% through, we're 90% through, only for later on to say, yeah, well, things went on a lot longer than.
I don't even want to get started with One Piece. Y'all already know what I'm going to say about that. That right there should be a dead giveaway. Sometimes an artist, I mean, I don't want to say they know what they're talking about, but they just be saying stuff.
So hence why this title doesn't say Boruto is ending, and more so it says Boruto could be or might be, depending on what wording I choose. You know, words do have power. Because in all honesty, while that was Mikio Ikemoto's estimation at that time, a lot of things have changed since then. For starters, Two Blue Vortex didn't even happen yet at that particular point, you know, the time skip. Also, you take into account the fact that Ukyo Kodachi at that particular time was the one that was writing this thing. And in case you don't know, Ukyo Kodachi's writing style compared to the combination of essentially Ikemoto writing it now with Kishimoto supervising, because Ukyo Kodachi's writing style was very fast, very to the point. Ultimately, he got a lot of stuff done very quickly. Some would argue it was a little too quick and it would go over a lot of things very fast. Personally, I was a very big fan of how fast things would go. Like, I get it, the tortoise and the hare, but sometimes, bro, you just want to get to the point. You feel me? And at that particular time, it could be that Mikio Ikemoto, based on what Ukyo Kodachi was doing and how he was writing, was like, yeah, the way he's writing this ain't gonna go past a certain amount. But once it got to the point where the pen was in his hand and he was actually able to essentially do things for the most part as he saw fit, again with Kishimoto's blessings of course, then things might have changed. Because based on all the plot threads that we have to solve, I'm not sure that even, let's just say, if we had 3 full volumes worth of content to go, all of that could be wrapped up, which would essentially be about like 12 or 13 chapters. And don't get me wrong, 12 or 13 chapters and Boruto is a very different ball game than 12 or 13 weekly chapters, because Boruto's monthly, you get like 40 something pages per chapter. So essentially it would be almost like 30 chapters, give or take. If you basically convert it from monthly to weekly, it would be about like 30 weekly chapters.
Yeah, that is true. You know, Boruto chapters do be quite long. But the way Ikemoto writes the chapters, most of the time it's just focused on one specific thing. And I noticed because, I mean, I covered the Boruto series. I read every single chapter up to date. Most of the times in Boruto, the chapter is focused on one specific thing. You have your Mamushi invasion, or you might have Boruto versus Jura. That could take up a whole chapter. Maybe you could cut scenes in between what's going on with Sarada and the rest, or maybe you could cut to Kawaki or something like that. Whatever's going on at the moment, Ikemoto likes to focus on that specific thing. So basically, you won't see 2 major things happening in the same chapter. 2 story-altering events. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But I will say where I think he was right. A lot of time when you have a series like Boruto, where, you know, Kishimoto kind of worked on it at the beginning, but then later he completely gave the pen to Ikemoto, sometimes the story changes, and sometimes it can either be enhanced or dragged down depending on who's the artist, who has the pen. So then they can introduce some new narratives, plot points, all that stuff that can basically extensify, I don't even know if that's a word, but extensify the series. You guys know what I'm talking about. So that's honestly what I think. So I don't know if this is kind of premature for me to say, but I can see the Boruto manga going on for another 40 chapters, 30 to 40 chapters at the least. And that's just how much potential stuff Ikemoto has to go over, plus the stuff we already have now to go over. It's not gonna happen in 12 chapters, and that's all I have to say. If it does, the series is rushed. The series is gonna be rushed. And mind you, 12 chapters, that's one whole calendar year because it's monthly. So 12 times 4, that's 48 chapters. I'm saying it could end between those 3 to 5 years. So I would say at least we have 3 years left. And I don't think that's crazy to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But anyway, I watched the rest of the video and honestly, I feel like I got my point across more or less, just to see if I missed anything that I could potentially go over. I love the video. Basically, it's just him just, you know, saying what Ikemoto said. So it's not him just saying, oh, it's definitely going to end soon. He's just telling us what Ikemoto said. So, you know what, you can't even like come at him if you don't think it's going to end. I mean, all he's doing is reporting it. So it is what it is. I gave my opinion on it. I said I didn't believe it was going to end, and for good reason too. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you think Boruto is going to end, if you genuinely think that, tell me why down below in the comment section. But if you don't, let me know why as well. Is it a different reason than what I said, or is it the same reason? Do you agree with me or not? Let me know all that down below in the comment section. And yeah, without further ado, I think I'm gonna end it here. So like I said, shout out to Forever World. I'm gonna leave the link to his channel down below in the description. Pretty good video. I wonder if he'll recognize this video or not. I'm not too sure. I probably not. Probably not. I don't know. But that would be dope. That would be dope, because he's definitely an OG in the anime world. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. And if you did, and wouldn't mind seeing more like this in the near future, go ahead and leave that like, comment, subscribe, and turn on them post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'm gonna see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.